Father, I've been having these horrible dreams. They speak of doom. I see a wolf feasting in your flesh, and a giant made of fire. Father, I have seen my own death. Help me. Baldr the Beautiful, son of Odin and Frigg, is an extremely relevant and tragic figure in the Eddas. He is more known for his death at the hands of the trickster god Loki, who, cheating in a game, got the blind god Hudr to shoot him with an arrow made of the only thing in existence that could hurt him: mistletoe. Baldr was beloved by all the gods except the Sly One, so they all felt terribly after his death. In the Eddas, it is written that, in the confirming his son's death, Odin woke to his body and whispered something in his ear. To this day, no one knows what the Allfather told his son's dead body. To uncover this is our task today. Welcome to Epic Tales, where we look for answers in the legends of our past. Baldr is sometimes a misunderstood character. He is believed to be a similar figure as that of the god Thor, his half-brother. This is not entirely correct. Where Thor was brute and headstrong, Baldr was caring and strategic. Where Thor was a warrior first and everything else second, Baldr was an artist and a poet. A warrior too, yes. After all, these are the gods of the Vikings. But he's certainly a more complex figure. Where Thor was the thunder that splits the midnight sky, Baldr was the dazzling rain of an early morn. After Baldr told Odin of his dreams of doom and destruction, the Allfather was extremely worried, for he knew that Baldr's death would precipitate the world towards Ragnarok. It is said that Odin rode to Hel, the realm led by Loki's hideous daughter, asking them to spare his beloved son of his tragic end. "We will all have tragic ends, O Father," said the Queen of the Underworld. "You know this better than anyone." "There is no exception." Odin rode back to Asgard and let Baldr's mother Frigg know. She was consumed by sadness and hatred towards fate and the inability of Odin to save their son. She then departed in a long odyssey, wandering the 9 realms, gathering promises on everything that they will not hurt their son. She rode to Vanaheim and got promises from the Vanir, who swore peace in the song of Frigga. She wandered in the fiery pits of Muspelheim and begged Surtur, the fire giant who ruled the land, not to intervene. Surtur made her beg, and she did, and he eventually acquiesced. Frigg even visited Hel at her throne in the underworld, where she got an exhausted nod from the Queen of Hell. No, Baldr would not die by her hand. In Midgard, the land of man, and the last step of her journey, she gathered promises of the mountains and the sky, of the rivers and the roses, but not of mistletoe, who she believed too weak to hurt her son. The end of this legend is known by many. The trickster god would change his appearance to adopt the shape of one of Frigg's helpers, and get the answer as to which thing in existence could hurt Baldr. Loki then fashioned an arrow made of mistletoe, and during a competition among the gods to see who could hurt Baldr, he pulled his scheme successfully, and Hudr shot and killed the son of Odin. Everyone was horrified, and then holding his dear son close to his chest, was when the Allfather whispered something in his son's ear. Now, it's important to note that it is not known what Odin whispered in his son's ear. This fact is even referenced by Odin himself in a tournament of riddles. There could be some different interpretations as to why would he even whisper anything at all, or whether it needs to have some hidden meaning. After all, he was a parent in mourning. Perhaps he just wanted to have one final moment with his son. Notwithstanding that, here are our 3 proposals. The first one is perhaps the most simple. It is written in the Eddas that Odin rode once again to Hel to demand the goddess of the underworld let Baldr outside her realm and into Asgard, to which she refused again. Odin could have whispered something about his intent to ride to the underworld and his demand to Hel, so as to let his son know that his stay in the underworld would not be a long one. In his whisper, "Rest easy, my son. Your father will pull you out of the land of ghosts. Rest easy, my son, and have no fear. I am on my way." Or perhaps it was out of fear and not sadness that the Allfather whispered in his son's ear. It is known that Odin had sacrificed himself to himself by hanging on the world tree Yggdrasil, pierced by a spear and submitting his eye to attain the knowledge of prophecy. It is also known that afterwards Odin was consumed by thoughts of Ragnarok and how to stop it. His gift of knowledge would have shown him the signs that would have led to the twilight of the gods, Baldrs Death being a fundamental one. Perhaps a terrified Odin approached his son's body and whispered that the end of the world was here and that the long winter had just begun. "I am sorry, my son, but fate is a tapestry already weaved. It had to be this way. My heart aches for a certainty I have known for centuries. Do not dread, my son. Soon we will all join you." The third possibility deals with what happens after Ragnarok. It is said at the conclusion of the Eddas that after the world dies and the final battle concludes, only a man and a woman and a few gods will remain. And that one, having escaped from hell during the fighting, would appear again. Baldr will return to the world of the living to lead humanity onto a new world. If all of this has a profoundly Christian feel to it, it is not unintentional. The Eddas were written after the Christianization of Norway, and it is believed by many scholars that the final pages were meant to reflect the beginning of Genesis, where Adam and Eve came to live in the world. But the connections between Genesis and Ragnarok are a topic for another day. Perhaps the gift of prophecy of the Allfather allowed him to view the world even after his own death at the jaws of Fenris Wolf. Perhaps the Allfather approached his son and wanted to comfort him, letting him know that he would walk the world of the living again. "Gather your strength, my son. Ragnarok is upon us, and when the world bleeds itself dry, humanity will need new gods to guide them, a new Allfather to give them courage and meaning. You will walk the ravaged earth. Rest, my son. Rest."